Go.
Hey guys, today we're going to go over the hip hinge and what I do with most of my patients when we're working on these movements. This is Cody, he's our wrestling athletic trainer. He does have a history of back pain. He has asymmetrical facet joints at L4, L5. And most everything he does, if he tries to do heavy activity, he will have some back pain with it. So some of the stuff we do may be limited weight-wise from what I would normally do, but we'll start there so we can save Cody's back today. First thing he's going to do real quick is do a squat assessment for you so you can see how he moves. He's going to do 3 reps in each of the 3 positions for you real quick. All right, Cody.
Good luck.
All right. The next thing he's going to do is just perform 3 reps of just a hip hinge, how he would normally move it, so you can see what he looks like before we actually start doing these movements. Okay, so the first thing I do when I'm teaching a hip hinge is we do start with the dowel rod assisted hip hinge. Have you put this mid back, grab the top of it and the bottom of it. Instruct them to keep their head, back, low back in contact with this rod the entire time. Keep their feet about hip width apart. I know some people like them to be a little further apart, but a lot of the articles I read said hip width is actually better. And then have them bend forward from the hips, keeping that rod in contact with their spine and their head. Do that 4 more times for me. You can see Cody has a little movement issue, whether that's from his lumbar spine issues or just him being extremely tight when he does these movements. All right. From there, once they have good form there, we're concentrating on keeping their core tight, keeping their back straight, their head up. We'll take the dowel rod away and just see if they can do the movement exercise without the dowel rod with no issues. Let's do 5 without. Make sure you're keeping that core braced. Then straight over from your hips. Don't arch back. There we go. Much better. 3 more. Go lower. There we go. Good. The next progression I typically do at that point is to add weight. It kind of throws their center of gravity a little farther forward, and they have to learn to control for that with 2 weights in their hand. Again, keeping that core tight, head up, back straight, bending straight over from the hips and coming back up. Bend from your hips, push back. There we go, much better. 2 more. Good. And as you see, I'm having to touch Cody a lot. I do use some tactile sensation with them and help them pull themselves back a little bit at first when they can't quite get the movement down. And then once they can get it on their own, I do take my hand away and let them do it themselves. The next thing we're going to move to is, typically once they've got that down, I'll start with the single leg hip hinges, but I'll use support when we do it. So I'll have them put the hand that is with the ground leg there. Cody, let's step up just a little bit. You're going to hit that bike. There we go. Ground leg there. Gives them a little bit bigger basic support so they can learn to control the actual movement before moving to a smaller basic support. Let's go. Same movement. Back up, and get your leg up, back leg up just a little higher. There we go, and back up. Let's do 3 more that way. And like I said, that just helps them learn to balance on a little bit of a bigger basic support before we take that away. Then keep your core tight. All right, and the next progression is to take that away and see how they move without it. Push your hips back just a little more. There we go. As you can see, Cody has some really tight hamstrings, so sometimes it's a little hard for him to actually get that good hip hinge movement. From there, I usually progress to 2-hand weights while we're doing this, and this again kind of throws that center of gravity off, and they have to adjust their body to it. Go ahead. Keep your shoulders turned down. There we go. Good. Wait, put it in there. There we go. This also throws, you take one weight away and just put one in the hand, it also changes their center of gravity. They've got to adjust to having that more weight on one side. Go ahead. Keep that ground rate a little straighter. I know you're going to straighten. There we go. You can see he's having a little bit more trouble doing it this way. From here, I move to walking, single leg hinge movements with with no weights in the hand first. Typically, we're going to go ahead and move to 2 just for time's sake right now. Generally, when I start this, I will have them do the movement, stand all the way back up, walk out, and then do the other leg, eventually progressing towards complete walking movement. So let's go ahead and do that. Good. And I progress this in different ways. I put a weight in one hand. I really liked Nick's progression last week where he actually did the pull movement with his walking deadlifts. I'll probably start adding that in as well. But that's good. I move generally in that way just to keep challenging them. Again, any tips, tricks that you may have, I would greatly appreciate hearing them, and thank you for watching this.